Thanks, Gregor. Morning, Kyle. Just going back to the other night, what was your level of concern with the shot that caught you? It looked like it caught you up in the throat or neck area.
Yeah, that was kind of scary a little bit. There's always that possibility of blocking shots could catch you up high a little bit. It just kind of caught me off guard, to be honest, and got me right in the throat. And you're not able to take a couple of breaths, can scare you a little bit. So got back to the locker room, looked after me, and everything was all right. So cleared up, and it's no issue now.
We'll go next to Paul Friesen from the Winnipeg Sun. Go ahead, Paul.
Thanks, Gregor. Kyle, you guys have won 10 straight against Vancouver. I think that might mean you've never lost to them. Were you aware of that? And either way, how do you kind of explain it?
Yeah, no, not at all. That's a pretty crazy stat. I know they've had some pretty good teams over the past couple of years, and I think that's something that nobody really looks into going into the game, whether that's a deciding factor of how one team's going to play or not. Each team provides different team each year, and they play a different style. So I think this year, we started off pretty good, 5-2 the first 7 games. So I think we're just looking to build on that each game, and Vancouver's coming off 3 straight wins as well. So it's gonna be a good game.
We'll go next to Jeff Hamilton from the Winnipeg Free Press. Go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, Kyle, just wanted to know what impresses you most about Adam Lowry's game. And as a second part to that question, just given the success of him and Matty Pro of late, how important that secondary scoring is to a team.
Yeah, it really is. You need 4 lines that can play with, anybody on their team. You don't want to be worrying about the matchup too much. And that's when, our teams have the most success is when they're just rolling 4 lines. And, especially those 2 guys, you've seen them have success in the past. So it's nice to kind of get them off to a good start. And, we all know what Lowry can do defensively, can shut down, all the top end guys. And, he's so hard on his stick, hard on the puck. And you've seen that goal last night or the other night where, he's just strong bottom hand, finishes that. And I think you'll see a lot of those from him.
We'll go next to Kelly Moore from CJOB. Go ahead, Kelly.
Hey, Kyle. On the topic of there are always things to learn from a week-to-week basis, the last time you guys had a little bit of a stretch of inactivity as far as games were concerned, the first game out wasn't great. That was the one in Toronto. So I don't know if you guys have raised that as a talking point in the dressing room or not, but with the approach, or have you looked at things or tried to do things a little differently coming off of 3 days away from playing games going into this one tonight against Vancouver?
Yeah, we're definitely aware of that personally as well. And I think that's a little different circumstances. If you guys all remember back how we had that COVID protocol, canceled practice. So going 2 days without any ice. Personally, don't like it. 2 days off, and then you get 1 practice in the game. So a little different circumstances here, but we got to learn to adapt because I know we got another 4-day block coming up, and I think we had 2 solid practices and feel good, and we're ready to go tonight.
We'll go next to Sean Reynolds from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Sean.
Hey, Kyle, I had a conversation with Brock Boeser a couple of years ago just about you guys kind of coming up together and have been competing against each other for so long. And he kind of joked that he's just always been chasing you and trying to catch you, and you're always kind of one-upping him along the way. I know you're very focused inwards and you don't like to point towards rivalries or things like that, but is there anything to like seeing a guy like that who you've known that long? And is there any kind of fun rivalry that comes into it when you play a guy like Brock?
Yeah, sure. I think there is. Like you said, played against Brock all the way, back to the USHL. We played a couple of tournaments with USA as well together, and kind of entered around the same time, same draft. So I think if anything, it's kind of a fun little rivalry. A great guy. I love to watch him play. And I think that's one of those things where if you have buddies around the league, you're always keeping tabs on. And, he's off to a great start as well. And, he's a player that I like to watch. He's fun to watch, and you can learn a lot from him. He plays hard, plays the right way. And I think there's a good little rivalry there for sure.
We'll go next to Brian Munz from TSN 1290. Go ahead, Munzie.
Kyle, when you look at Vancouver with Quinn Hughes leading the way points wise for them right now, what is the key to, I guess, keeping an eye on an offensive guy like that can do things from the back end?
Yeah, he's he's been pretty special since he came into the league, and even before that, I watched him at Michigan. He's got some real talent, and he's a good player. And I think the key with any defenseman that likes to get up in the rush and make plays is just finish your checks, get above them. You finish your check and you're above him coming out of the offensive zone. It's going to be tough for him to get that ice, and just being aware where he is as wingers too, and covering the point in defensive zone. You got to have your head on a swivel. These guys like to be pretty active in the offensive zone. That's kind of the biggest thing I've seen from the typical offensive defenseman we've seen.
And just a couple more. We'll go to back to Ken Weave from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Weaver.
Kyle, sticking with the Michigan theme, what's it been like to see your old line mate Tyler Motte get off to a good start with 5 goals here, and maybe just reflect a bit on the relationship from your year together at Michigan?
Yeah, that's really good to see him having some success, and he's one of those guys that works so hard, and skate with him a lot in the off season, and pays attention to every detail of the game and his body, and wants to have success. And I think it was just a matter of time before he kind of takes off, and we're seeing that right away. I think he's got 5 goals first couple games here, and he's the type of player that won't kill you with a bunch of flash, but he gets to the dirty areas, kills penalties, will block shots, and he's just one of those guys that you want on your team and will help you win.
And final question to Paul Friesen from the Sun. Go ahead, Paul.
Just wanted to ask you, Kyle, about the tracking pucks. I understand the league sent a bunch back, and now they're back again. Have you noticed anything different about any of the pucks?
No, I'm not really aware of that, to be honest. I'll have to follow up on that. I'm not really sure what they're doing with the pucks, to be honest.